What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Tristania. Yes, indeed. How about that? Tristania making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Animal Soul, and Animal Soul wanted to see me react to this song by Tristania called Angellore. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, hang on, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Arnie the Reptile 01. Okay. And the video has 344,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Tristania, Angellore. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
place I once felt to me.
vocals changed up. That's nice. See if I got the riff right.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Okay, so they're in C sharp. Easy enough. Super easy, super simple, not hard at all. It's kind, I hesitate to say this. It is kind of one-dimensional. The verses and the chorus share almost the exact same riff. There is some differences. There are a couple of differences, but for the most part, I mean, it's in the same key, follows the same rhythmic pattern. Nothing. They even base it around the same chords for the most part. Like, I would say 90% of the chords are the same. So I don't know, man. That does feel a little one-dimensional to me. Like, a modulation would have been nice. You know, up or down, doesn't matter to me. But I mean, it's all right. Vocally, sounds very gothic. The vocals sound gothic. The music, not really. The music just sounds. It sounds hard rock. It doesn't sound gothic at all. The only thing gothic sounding right now are the vocals. But now we're going to some grit and growl. Now that. From my understanding, I'm a little confused. From my understanding, grit and growl vocals are not typically used in Gothic style music. So I may be wrong about that. I know very little when it comes to Gothic music, but from what I've heard and from what people have told me, grit and growl vocals really don't lend themselves too well to Gothic music. But number one, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. Number one. Number two, the people that I've heard that from, they may be wrong. They may not know anything more about Gothic music than I know. You know, I thought they knew. They said they knew, but, you know, maybe they didn't know. I don't know. Anyway, so far so good. I'm not blown away by this. I'm not terribly impressed by this, but it does sound good. It sounds good. So I guess we're going to have to just wait and see how this goes. Um, I mean, if people are expecting me to sit here and go, oh my God, this was mind-blowing. This is one of the most impressive songs I've ever heard in my life. I got some bad news for you. You're going to be sorely mistaken. Having said that, though, I didn't hear anything bad. So it was repetitive. And it was the song itself as a whole was very one-dimensional. I'm gonna need to think about this because there's a couple of factors that are weighing against each other, and I gotta figure out which one's more important. So let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Tristania with Angellore. I hope I pronounced that right. This was a request from Animal Soul. Okay, I thought about it, and there's not a lot to talk about. This, you'll see what I mean. I'll explain what I mean, I promise. Let's start off with the grade, and let's start off with the score. So here we go. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's not the negatives, but I'm going to give that a 5.5. Yep, 5.5. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
For the record, I want to be very clear. First things first here. Well, should I give the score? All right, let's do the score and what it means first. So a 5.5. What does that mean? Well, it's getting an okay grading scale. It's getting an okay scale grade. It's 3 out of 5 stars, and it's a C+ letter grade. So take any one of those and internalize it however you want. Now, how did I come to that score? That's interesting. I want to be very clear when I say when I talk further about the song. I want to pre-frame everybody by saying this first. Believe it or not, I actually kind of dug the song. I wasn't full-blown in love with it, but I did kind of dig it. It definitely kind of grew on me a little bit as the song progressed, okay? So I didn't hate it. I absolutely didn't hate it. But looking at the song objectively, there's just not a lot of beef there to work with. There's not a lot of skin here to work with. So, first of all, the entire song, we're in C#. The entire song. Every single time a phrase would start, we would be right here on the C#. Okay? Every time. There was not one phrase that started on an F#, or on an A, or on an E, or on a B. A B, not a C, a B. Yeah. No, every single phrase started with a C#. Every time. Now, from that C#, we would go in some different places. C# to B to A to B to C# to resolve. Or we would go C to A to F# to F# up top to E to resolve that way. We would also do the C# to the B to the F# to the A to the C# again. But do you see the commonalities here? 1, 2, 3, 4. The reality is this song was literally built around 4 notes. Every once in a while, we would throw the E in there, the E, D#, E, down to the, guess where? C# again. So, when I say that the song was very one-dimensional, that's what I'm talking about. We didn't really move around the scale at all. We didn't move around the fretboard at all. We didn't move around the staves at all. We stayed pretty much in the same little box. C#, B, A, F#. Those 4 notes. Like I said, we did every once in a while go E, D#, E as a resolution and a transition back into the next phrase, but that's pretty much all we did. It was stay on those 4 notes. Now, is there anything wrong with that? Not at all. Kiss made a living doing that. AC/DC has made a living doing that. Gosh, what are the bands? Let's think about some other bands that have made a living doing that. Guns N' Roses made a living doing that. Def Leppard made a living doing that. Testament made a living. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Testament actually moved around quite a bit in their songs. But there's a lot of bands. There's a lot of bands out there who made a living, a great living, doing the same 4-chord song. I mean, they doing the exact same format, taking a song, sticking to 4 chords, and that's it. So is there anything wrong with that? No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But if you're going to ask me if that's impressive, no, it's not impressive at all. You know, I would never give this, a 9 point anything. No chance. But then again, I would also never give Kiss a 9 point anything. I wouldn't give Kiss an 8 point anything. So, I mean, maybe 7s, possibly. I might give Detroit Rock City a 7, depending on the mood I'm in. But, I mean, that's about it. I mean, that's seriously about it. Everything else is going to be down in the 6s and 5s. So, getting a 5 is not bad, okay? It really isn't. As far as what was interesting in the song, the intro, sort of. I like the, I like taking the one voicing. I'm not sure if that was I don't think it sounded kind of like a harpsichord, but I don't think it was a harpsichord. It may have just been it might have just been a toy piano patch. And they slowed it down and detuned it as it was going along, and it fell farther and farther behind while everything else kept progressing at the normal pace, creating some dissonance, creating a feeling of uneasiness, of unrest. Effective. Definitely effective. Definitely attention getting, if nothing else, attention getting. The vocals. His vocal style. His clean vocal style. I liked that. I did like that. He switched up to the grit and growl vocal. Now, I'm going to be honest with you folks, I wasn't a fan of it. I wasn't a fan of the grit and growl vocal. I'm not a big fan of his grit and growl. But, having said that, I have to say, I feel like the switch to the grit and growl vocal, I feel like it was needed. It was. Because when you're singing this style of vocalization, he was singing with the clean vocal, and he was keeping it very much like the music was, keeping it in a very small range of motion as far as notation goes. It's going to get very monotonous, and it's going to get very old very quickly. So switching up to the grit and growl was, believe it or not, I may not have been a fan of it, but it was a welcome switch up. And every time he would switch back and forth, it gave the song a little variance. It gave it a little bit of an opportunity to move and grow. Not a lot, because it was only the vocals that were changing, but at least there was something done. The addition of the female vocals and the choir vocals, again, needed more layers, and believe me when I say this, this song needed all the help it could get for its differentials and getting in those variances, because like I said, the song on its own, 4-chord song, very one-dimensional, okay? The same thing can be said about a lot of other bands that made a great living. I'm not slamming it, okay? Believe me, I'm not. I'm just pointing out that if you're gonna ask me if the song is impressive, my answer is going to be no, it isn't. I mean, I literally sat here, listened to the song, I listened to the verse, I listened to the chorus, I was like, oh, okay, I got it. And I picked up my bass and I started to play it. So it's really not a difficult song at all. It's not an impressive song at all. I can't even say it's a great song, or even, I tried thinking about a really good, and I was like, no. I debated between low 6s and mid 5s. And honestly, I feel more comfortable with the mid 5s. So that's where we're at. But like I said, it's not bad. We don't get into the bad scores, honestly, until we get under 5. So you're still in the positives here. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? 5.5, okay grading scale, 3 out of 5 stars. and a C+ letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. They all mean the same thing. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make a difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.